With Lauren Johnson-Norris, who is a criminal defence lawyer and founder of Johnson Criminal Law Group. Thank you for joining us on BBC News. I wondered if I could first get your reaction to Lyle being denied parole like his brother.
Well, after seeing that Eric was denied, I don't think it was a surprise that Lyle was also denied. They both committed the same or similar heinous acts against their parents, and both had violations while they were incarcerated. So the parole hearing officers had to consider that, as well as the input of family and the protection of the public and their plans upon release, if they were to be released, and came back with the decision that they posed an unreasonable danger to public safety.
Do you agree with that decision?
Well, I'm not an expert who evaluated them, but there were experts who did, and they submitted a report saying that they were a moderate risk to the public safety. And in such cases, only about 22% of folks who are up for parole with a moderate risk are released. So the odds were low coming in. I'm sure they will try again and try to address some of the problems that they face coming before the parole board, including those violations of the rules.
This is a case that does still divide America, doesn't it? And of course, it's had more publicity worldwide because of the Netflix series.
Well, people wouldn't be paying attention unless this case had already been a high-profile case. There are people who come up for parole every day are denied, and many of those folks, no one's paying any attention. But because of the renewed interest after the series, and also because of the history of the case, many Americans are divided. I see online that some people say it's a problem that they aren't released, and other people say they deserve to continue to stay behind bars.
So we know that they can, in a few years' time, ask again for parole. How likely is it that the decision could change over those 3 years? Does it all depend on what they do now in prison in terms of good behaviour?
That's exactly right. If they paid attention to what was said and really integrate that into their conduct, then they can face potential for a release, if not the next time or even the time after. Once they've demonstrated that they can comply with the rules of the prison, then the parole hearing officers have more confidence that they can comply with the law upon release.
Do you think they will ever be released?
Well, I think that they will always continue to try until they are, and their family, and they remain hopeful. So I hope at some point that they are no longer a risk to the public and may have freedom, but you just never know.
Lauren Johnson-Norris, thank you very much for joining us live on BBC News. Appreciate your time.